The GSA Club is now meeting on Wednesdays at 3:15 p.m. after school. GSA is an equal rights advocacy group who want to support allies and members of the LGBTQ+ community. If you are interested in joining, please contact Mike Stead, Douglas's school social worker, at mike.stead@fayette.kyschools.us.
Good morning, Broncos. Did you know that Alexa, Siri, Google, all of our digital assistants work by collecting data about our online habits, physical locations, and personal information to help us? Be aware of how companies and apps collect your online data. Read some of those data agreements and privacy policies that pop up. Think before installing apps that may compromise your privacy and sell your data to other companies. You are in charge of who gets your information.
Good morning. Principal Diaz here with the morning announcements for January 29th, Friday. It is a B-Day. It is Friday and the weekend is upon us. I know the weather's not ideal. A lot of white stuff on the floor, a lot of snow on the ground these last couple of days. It hasn't melted, and it really came down that one night. But, the weekend is here. And I did get a chance to shovel some of that snow off the driveway for myself and my neighbor. That's one of the things I do. I shovel my neighbor's driveway. That's one of the ways in which, I always preach and I always talk about taking care of each other. That's one of the things. One of my neighbors is elderly, and that's one of the things I just do. So I encourage you to do so. I encourage you to do the same. I want to reiterate our expectations is to participate in your Zoom sessions and really engage in the lessons. I've been visiting a lot of classes. And I'm just ecstatic with how hard our teachers are working, how efficient our teachers are working, our kids participating, our kids learning. This virtual environment has been outstanding for some students. Some students that don't like big crowds or that don't like coming into the building, that really want to learn and really want to engage. And this has been perfect for you. We also have a bunch of students that it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if we're in person. It doesn't matter if we're virtual. They're going to work hard and they're going to try and they're going to get it anyway. And then we've got a bunch of kids that have to be here and have to be in person. So we're working on our in-person return and our in-person plan. And before I get into today's update of our in-person return and our in-person plan, I want to remind you guys, being respectful, being responsible, and being safe are the three pillars within our PBIS initiative. That's positive intervention behaviors and supports, right? Our PBIS initiative. I think I said that in the wrong order, but neither here nor there. Be safe, be responsible, and be respectful. Okay, so if we were looking at Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and maybe even Friday with the wind chill factor, maybe even today with some of the wind chill factors, we would potentially be looking at snow days. We would potentially be looking at having to make up these days at the end of the school year. But what COVID-19 has allowed us to do and has taught us and strengthened us in ways, we now have the infrastructure where we may never have to make up a snow day. We may be able to go to remote learning for weather reasons in the future. So in the future, if we're in person and we're doing just fine with our safety and our health and the vaccine and everything is in place, and we have a weather event like we did this week, we may be able to just transition automatically into a remote virtual setting and not have to waste the day and make it up at the end of the school year and extend the school year, which is huge, guys, huge. Speaking from a principal that is part of the committee that looks at graduation and Rupp Arena and doing all these plans towards the end of the year, having a fixed end date to the end of the year is fantastic. I know a lot of parents are going to love being able to schedule vacations and being able to schedule family trips if we don't have to keep adding days at the end of the year because of a snow day, right? So one thing that Canvas and Zoom and all these different interactive software platforms that we have to engage students in the learning has done is giving us the freedom or the opportunity to just get rid of snow days altogether. Part of you wants to, man, I like that break. I like that I don't have to do anything today. But at the same time, you got to make it up when the weather's nice. So it might just be a good thing. Again, we are not potentially coming back until the 15th of February. But if we come back on the 15th of February, we will be ready. We've got a plan. Our teachers are familiar with the plan. We have structures and systems in place to run a safe school. What I want to reiterate today is that we will have to have masks. Every student, every adult, every human, every Homo sapien, everybody's going to have a mask on while on campus, and everybody's going to have a badge on while on campus. I know a lot of you guys haven't received your badge. Some of you guys have never received a badge because you're freshmen. We've got the badges here and they're all ready to go. It's just a matter of getting the badges to you. And you'll need your badge because you're going to have to scan at lunch and scan at breakfast. Well, I talked about lunch yesterday, and we're going to do the lunch line. We're going to have 4 lunch lines. It's a grab and go lunch. It's going to go super quick. And then we're going to go to our assigned lunch seat. And I'll talk some more about the assigned lunch seat. But I want to talk a little bit about the breakfast that is going to be available for our students. It's going to be a grab and go breakfast, and we're going to have several satellites throughout the campus. So when you walk into the building and you go through the metal detector and the bag search and you come out on the other side of the cafeteria, it's going to look different. At that point, you're going to proceed directly to your advisory class. And on the way to your advisory class, you're going to grab your grab and go breakfast. That's kind of the routine. And it's real simple. Freshmen, you don't know where your advisory class is because you've never been here before, but you know where the Freshman Academy hallway is. And all of your classes are in the Freshman Academy hallway. So we'll funnel you in that direction and we'll get you sorted and get you to the right place once we are allowed to return to in person. Okay, the last announcement I have for you today is actually a quote by Abraham Lincoln, one of my favorite principals, Honest Abe, Abraham Lincoln. He said, and this is a good one, he said, "Whatever you are, be good at it." Simple, to the point. Whatever you are, be good at it, right? But it's more complicated or deeper than what you initially think, right? The quote is telling you that if you're going to be something, be the best something that you can be, right? If you're going to do something, do it to the maximum of your ability. If you're going to finish that homework assignment, finish it as best you can. You're going to run that mile, finish that mile as best you can. That's what the quote is saying on the surface. But if you dig deeper into what the quote is really saying is, whatever you are, be good at it. It asks you, what are you? At one point in my life, I was a college student. At one point in my life, I was a science teacher. At this point in my life, I'm a principal. So it's asking you to identify or define what you are. And then once you have that definition of what you are, you've done that yourself. No one has defined what you are for you, right? What are you? Be the best you can at it, right? Right now, I am a high school principal in Lexington, Kentucky. So I'm going to try to be the best high school principal that I can possibly be. I've defined myself as that. And now my goal is to be good at it. I'm Lester Diaz, your principal, and it is an honor and a privilege to serve you in this capacity.